I thought, oh, she's just joking. And she just went, get out of my house. I was like, and because my name wasn't on the list, I had no choice. I had to leave. Overnight bag and everything. But the next day she called me and said, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't really mean it.
There are some cards that when you play them, no, that changes literally everything. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Lord Scrub. Question of the day: do you recommend living in a woman's house? This guy doesn't, and I'll be honest, I think the Bible seems to agree with this man. So let's listen to it, let's read some comments, and let's talk about it.
Move into a woman's house, you will regret it.
About 10 years ago, I had to learn this the hard way. And boy, never again.
Let's stop right there. It's been 10 years and something strikes a chord with you still after so much time. That's how you know that pain was deep. But let's keep going.
The beginning, it always used to be a joke. You know, the get out of my house. And you just, you kind of laugh it off because it's funny, right? Until one day we had a disagreement. And then she said, get out of my house. Me, like an idiot, I thought, oh, she's just joking. And she just went, get out of my house. I was like, and because my name wasn't on the list, I had no choice. I had to leave. Overnight bag and everything. But the next day she called me and said, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't really mean it.
There are some cards that when you play them, no, that changes literally everything. I'm sorry. You put somebody on the street, you gotta have a good reason. I ain't even finna lie. And when you do that, that is not a I'm sorry. That is a this dynamic is done. Like you've done something so far beyond reason that nah, we can't stay like this. I'm sorry for putting you on the street. I didn't mean it. Yikes.
You can come back. Which I did because I had nowhere else to go. But best believe I spent the next 2 weeks looking for my own place. But
whew, I was just about to say, brother. You retarded? Father help me. Nah, cause that's literally what I was just about to say. Cause I'm like, nah. Like that's like, listen, you better find something. But nah, he played the long game. He said, nah, I need a place to stay right now. And I'm looking for next 2 weeks. I'm finding something. But all right then, last 8 seconds. Let's see where it goes.
Check this. Me looking for an apartment actually caused us to break up because she thought I had commitment issues, and I'm just like, what?
Is that right? So, yeah. The dynamic is problematic for multiple biblical reasons, and we'll get into those reasons momentarily. But yeah, just initial thoughts. That's yeah, you dodged a bullet, brother. Cause no, I mean we talk about boundaries. We talk about healthy dynamics, but I ain't even finna lie. Like it's not even an irrational fear. Brother literally got put out on the street over an argument, and you mad at him because he always wants to have something to fall back on now that he knows this is what you're capable of. And say what you want, I'll never do it again. But the fact that you did it in the first place means you were capable of doing that thing to begin with. So naturally, now that I know that you're capable of doing this thing, I have to protect myself. I had to have a place to stay. And even in gated communities, what's the best you could find? A newspaper and a bench? Like, yo, get out of my house is wild work. Let's see what the comments have to say. She broke up with you because she lost control when you got your own place. Seems to be so, right? Well, like it's like the conversation of birth birth certificates, you know, DNA tests. And it's like, oh, you don't trust me? We got to break up. And it's like, well, hold on now. Me making like, I don't never buy a car and not put insurance on it, right? Because I can get into an accident. I don't go to my job and work unless I'm getting paid. The insurance of getting paid. I don't I don't buy clothes unless naturally they are form fitting. All of these things speak to a level of security that is to protect myself. And the moment you are against me protecting myself is when I know what's really going on. And that's diabolical. But let's keep going. Never ever move in together without marriage. Oh, well, marriage won't fix it. Marriage won't fix problematic situations. That's number one. And naturally, one can say, well, if you guys don't know how you guys like work, like if you guys don't talk about living together and what that looks like, then even being married, you guys might find, oh, you guys work terribly. He's an afternoon person, you're a morning person. You expect him to be up doing something, he expects you to be chill during the afternoons. You see what I'm saying? Like, you guys got to think about this. And I'm not saying moving in without marriage is the option, by the way. I'm just saying, as just the de facto marriage fixes everything. No, you got to think about things a little deeper. Let's see. The both ways in the comments is hilarious. I haven't seen any of this, but I will say this. People are saying men do this too. Well, first and foremost, I think everything is different for both genders, right? First and foremost, it is expected that a man has his stuff together to begin with, right? So naturally, him not having his stuff together but living in your house, today is an inconvenience. Yesterday was cute. Tomorrow, when you see his socks on the floor, or you see a plate in the sink that you did not put there, suddenly it becomes unbearable. And naturally, the person who has the control of this terms of engagement sets the rules. And it's not a sight. It's not a good sight for a man to essentially be at the person's mercy, which we'll read in the scriptures. But nevertheless, let's see. Best rule: don't get into a relationship again. Yikes. You see the end result of this? You can't trust nobody. The person you trust, you trusted with everything, hurt you so bad, so naturally you don't trust nobody. Which is crazy. Let's see. No accountability. They will always blame you for their fault. Well, even if you don't disagree that women don't have any accountability, there is at the very least an observable lesser degree of accountability that they have to be accountable for, rather than a man who is essentially the reason the world is destroyed. You men start wars. Well, somebody has to defend the wife and children. Somebody has to defend the land that we have. You guys have dominated women for a while. No, like, the world was a very hostile place. Like, somebody had to quite literally take charge and weather the world so that we have these societies, or we can talk about, we don't talk about, like, it's hot in here, turn off the air condition. Who made that? You know what I'm saying? Like, so naturally, we play our different positions well. So don't get me wrong. Like it's not just that, one side built the world. No, both sides have naturally. The family is what built the world. I want to make it clear. The family dynamic, where the men works and the woman makes this cave a home. We have all, and of course naturally, who brings life into the world. Like, literally, we need each other. So this whole mentality of one side is better than the other side is dumb. It's very stupid. But let's see what we got. Let's see what else we got. My now husband moved in with me in 2008, all the way from Scotland. I've never once asked him to leave. Well, there you go. That's the reason he's your husband, because you ain't put him on the street like this person did. Let's see. If your name's not on the lease, you need to keep the peace. See that? Like, if you're not the one on the lease, you could be paying bills, by the way. If you're not on the lease, this means you're expendable, which is crazy work, because according to the Bible, in Genesis chapter 3, verse 16, it says, to the woman he said, I will surely multiply your pain in childbearing, and in pain you shall bring forth children. So right off the bat, God demonstrates that one of the consequences of the fall, one of the consequences of man quite literally being out of alignment with God, or bringing it out of alignment with God upon themselves, is that you will remember, your remembrance of this will be that, like quite literally in the way you function to quite literally bear life and thus bring it into the world, you like this will be a painful reminder. Oh, yeah, like I guess in some ways you could say God brought you into the world and you made it painful for him, so naturally he's making it painful for you so that you understand the cost of a human life. But the point is consequences, and on top of that, get this: your desire shall be for your husband and he shall rule over you. And the footnote here says or to or toward, so language, so this should be quite literally not just for your husband in a what people can interpret as a friendly dynamic, but actually possibly an antagonizing one, because it says, see Genesis chapter 4 verse 7, to highlight how the same language mirrors the next chapter, which highlights how unto Cain God said, sin is knocking at the door, its desire is for you, but nevertheless you shall rule over it. To demonstrate, wait a minute, this relationship is not a positive one. Its desire is actually to dominate you, to change your way of living, to actually control your thinking, but nevertheless you will actually have the mentality of mastering and putting it in its place in accordance with sin. Now we could take a few cues from that to highlight how this demonstrates that the dynamic between the head, the man, and the woman is quite literally not a positive one. She wants to be the head, but naturally she will be given a head, is simply what this verse is trying to communicate. But we'll go deeper into that later. So Proverbs says in chapter 31 verse 3, do not give your strength to women. Oh, you thought there was more? No, that's it. It goes into something else, something else completely different right after it. It just says, do not give your strength to women. Naturally, you are the head. Do not give your role, do not give your authority, do not give your identity to other people, right? I mean, a good example of this is simps. You give away your resources to somebody else, and you give them your strength because you feel some sort of, I like this person, or I want to get noticed by this person, but it ultimately destroys you. Which, coincidentally, get this, your ways, do not give your strength to women, your ways to those who destroy kings. So it just says, do not give your strength to women, period. But then it switches over to your ways, your methods, your movements, your plan. Don't give away your plan to those who bring kings to ruin, demonstrating how don't cast your pearl before swine, the philosophy of basically you're exposing too much of yourself and thus you are causing yourself a weakness. Do not. So yeah, I would say yes. Don't live in another person's house, or a woman's house very specifically, because naturally you adhere to their rules and they can put you on the street. And women, being a bit more emotional than men as far as just leading with their emotions as the argument, yeah, it's not gonna be good for you if you make her mad, isn't it? Like, you make a man mad, okay, give me a minute, I gotta leave the house for a little bit, because I'm not trying to like get physical. Her, get out of my house, you're not allowed to be here. Like crazy work. But let's go to Isaiah now. Isaiah chapter 3 verses 11 to 12. Woe to the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for what his hands have dealt shall be done unto him. Simply put, the philosophy is very simple. You deal in wickedness, and thus like you will be given the wages of what you've done. Meaning, yes, you cause problems, God will repay you. But it also says this: my people, infants are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, your guides mislead you, and they have swallowed up the course of your paths. It highlights how, first and foremost, this dynamic where the young speak out against the old, as far as, that like having a voice, like more so than wisdom that has truth, like that has understood truth, right? Like, is a bad approach. Infants are their oppressors. Young people who do not know anything, quite literally, tell them how things should go. And it also says women rule over them. According to the Bible, the man is the head. So what are you doing? This is not your position. You rule over them, and the end result is this. Your guides, these individuals, a guide is somebody who in a position of leadership, leading the people, mislead you, and they have swallowed up the course of your paths. Like, that man living with that woman, she swallowed up the course of his life. Like, one instant, oh, I have a place to stay, I have a home. Next, oh, you're on the street now, buddy. Crazy work. So naturally, it's no bueno. Don't do it. Don't do it. You better listen to the Bible. Last but not least, 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 3-5. But I want you to understand that the head of every man is Christ. The head of the wife is her husband, and the head of Christ is God. Every man who prays and prophesies with his head covered specifically dishonors his head. Did you catch that? This is the creation order. God, Messiah, man, woman, or God, Messiah, husband, wife. Because naturally, God in the beginning said neither side should be alone. They should be, well, just that, for each other. And so after that, it literally highlights how every man who prays. If you pray, Jesus taught us in what manner we should pray. We should pray according to God's will, praying for his will, praying for his purpose. And prophecies very much, or prophesying, are quite literally prophesying, really uttering, declaring God and his will and his word, his utterances. And so naturally, every man who, what this basically is allegorical language for, is every man who wants to submit and obey the Lord with his head, him being the head, covered, i.e., like some other ruler other than Christ and God, someone over him other than Christ as God, dishonors his actual head, i.e., the Lord. You should not be in this weird, unfair dynamic from what your original function was. You are the head over her, not the head under her. Well, that there is no head under her, so she's meaning that she's the head over you. But nevertheless, you get what I'm saying? And so naturally, verse 5 says this: but every wife who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head. Language is simple. If you want to align yourself with the Lord, which you already should, because all things are held accountable to God, judgment day is coming, yes, you will meet the Lord. He will have questions for you. If you want to be the head, someone like, i.e., when you're uncovered, you want to be the head, right? This dishonors your actual head, aka the Lord, Jesus Christ, God Almighty, and of course, what is supposed to be the position of your husband. Living in somebody's house, I mean, I think to get by is all right. We're just talking about like, hey, should you be satisfied with this dynamic? No. The Bible's not okay with that. And it likens it to one as if their head is shaven. There is a shame in going against the way God's created order works. With you being under her and her being over you. You both are dishonoring each other and dishonoring the Lord God who made you both the way you are supposed to be. This in verse 3, not this. But with that being said, I can go further, right? I could talk about how, first and foremost, a man should be managing his household. First Timothy chapter 3 verses 4-5, right? Like this is how a man should be, because naturally the implication in verse 5 is managing one's own household, my goodness, is quite literally is how the church should be, right? How will you take care of God's household if you can't manage your own? Or I could talk about this where it says, hey, be careful, right? Don't like this is 1 Corinthians chapter 16 verse 13. Be careful, stand firm. It tells us that because there are sometimes you don't feel you should stand firm. No, act like a man, be strong. As the Bible says, don't give your strength to somebody else. But with that being said, I do want to emphasize, like literally, like 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verses 3-5 just pretty much covers everything I'm trying to say with this. Because naturally, if we're gonna adhere to the Bible's view of things and aka God's view of things, then naturally, this dynamic was problematic off rip. Just that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys think I hit the nail on the head, or do you think I finally lost my mind reading the Bible so much? But With that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Take care. And of course, God bless and stay blessed.